Afternoon, everyone. Welcome to our city on this October 14th of 2021. I'm Mayor Diana Broderson. My goodness, I cannot believe October is half over. I swear it was just September and now we're half done. This fall is just speeding by. We have a great show today. I wanted to give just a couple of quick announcements. On the coronavirus front, we had a better week. You won't say good week till we're at zero, but we have a total of 6,735 cases that we've had here in Muscatine County, with 67 new this week. But last week was 122. So that's like almost half. I was so excited to see that number. I'm hoping, as you can see from the graph, we're on a downward trend again. I think me and the whole world wants this just to be behind us, that's for sure. But we are at 64% eligible people, those 12 and older in Iowa, who've been fully vaccinated, and 63 in Muscatine County. So great job to everybody. Next, I just wanted to ask for your help. Senior Resources reached out to me. You know, they help elderly and homebound folks throughout the winter. When it rains, they help them with chore workers to kind of help them come in and shovel snow and do different little things. And they are really in need of people now that will sign up to be able to shovel snow for a couple of elderly folks this winter. You can choose as many or as few as you like. Just reach out to them and give them a call, 263-7292. And I'm sure you will get a lot out of it as well, being able to help others. So reach out to them if you can help. And now please join me in welcoming Amy Fortenbacher. She's our Muska Bus director, and she's been on duty. Oh my goodness, Amy, you've been here 3 years?
I think it's almost 4. Yeah, I had to think about that.
Oh
yeah,
my goodness.
Yeah, it's been a while.
Oh, it sure has. Well, welcome. Thanks for sharing with us today.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
I was in a meeting last night and we talked just a little bit about the bus. You guys did such a great job navigating through the pandemic. Were you closed for a very short time?
We didn't actually ever close, but we did stop our route system. And then we just did shuttle service where people would call in. We did require them to call in a day ahead of time, and they would make appointments, and we would take them from their home to their doctor's appointments or grocery store, basically essential things that they needed to do.
Yep.
So yeah, so we kept going the whole time. So
wow.
That was good.
What a service, though, because they might not have had any other opportunities.
Right. Yes. So a lot of the people that we transport, they don't have any other way to get anywhere. They don't have family that can take them. We are their sole, transportation to get them to their doctor's appointments, to get groceries, anything like that. So it was nice to be able to provide that for them. We also did do it for free, so they didn't have to worry about the extra expense of a shuttle ride, because if they were riding the route bus, it's usually just $1, but the shuttle is usually $2. So the city agreed, for us to be able to do that, and that was really a nice service to provide.
These, I can't sing your praises enough, and the folks that work for you. I mean, they were essential workers through this. I mean, they
definitely
were right there on the front lines when some of us were, hibernated in our homes trying to protect ourselves. Your team was out there on the front lines helping get people to the services they needed. Some needed to, like you say, get groceries.
Right. Or get their medication or, get to their doctor's appointments. So yes, our drivers were great through the whole time. They, we only had about 7 to 9 drivers that stayed through the whole, the majority of the pandemic, where we were shut down to just the shuttle service. And yeah, they were wonderful. So,
amazing.
But, we were pretty diligent in our cleaning of the buses, and making sure that everybody had masks, which we still require people to wear masks on our buses. It's a pretty confined space. So we do require that, but the drivers were great to make sure that, they're sanitizing all the time and keeping themselves healthy. So it was very good.
And I bet that, in many cases, it was a one-on-one service. I bet a lot
Yes.
of times it was just one person on that bus.
Yes. And we did try to do that as well, so that there weren't several people on the bus, to help distance a little bit more. So that
My
was
goodness,
good.
that's like a private taxi cab.
Yes. Yeah. It's
And
kind of
what
a
a
big one.
service at no cost. Yes, pick you up at the door.
Yeah. So yeah, that I think that everybody appreciated that. And I think when we did go back to our route services, they were kind of sad about that. They were a little spoiled.
Oh, I bet. Pick us
But
up at the door, take me wherever I want to go for no cost.
right, exactly.
It
And
doesn't get better than that.
no.
No, not at all.
So
So now you're back on your regular routes.
yes. Yep. So now we're back to, we have 4 routes that we run daily, starting at 6:30 a.m. and going to 5 p.m. And 3 of them begin and end at City Hall. So they run 30-minute loops. And then the 4th one, our green route, starts at the mall and ends at the mall. So it services that area of town, like by Walmart.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so that is running daily, well, Monday through Saturday. And then we have our paratransit service again, where people get picked up at their door and taken to where they need to go. But that is for people or persons with disabilities. So they either have to have a physical or some kind of mental disability that just they're not able to navigate, the route system.
Sure.
So
I know for a lot of even elderly, it's hard for them to get over to City Hall, and they prefer, well, they still call it dial ride.
Yeah, they do. Yeah, technically it's paratransit. We call it a shuttle service. It's fine. We know what they mean.
You know what they mean.
Yeah. Yeah, but they call a day ahead, just like what we were doing, during the majority of the time. We just ran that service during the pandemic. But they call a day ahead. We schedule them. We try to make the schedule within an hour because, we only have a certain number of buses that do that service. And then we take them where they need to go, call when they're finished, they call us, we pick them back up and take them home. So
my mom has used your services for years, even though there's, folks, a family around that could give rides. She likes being independent to do that. And she's since moved away by other family members. And she'll tell, if you ask her what does she miss the most about living in Muscatine, it's the bus system.
Oh, that's so
because
nice.
She had that independence. In other communities, it's either too hard to navigate, or you've got to go far away, or they certainly don't have like the shuttle, the para.
Right.
And so it's just not workable for elderly. So it's a big difference. But in our community of 25,000, it fits us perfect.
Yeah, no, I agree. And having a route system as well, for our size of a community is pretty special. There's only like a handful of other communities our size that do this type of service here in Iowa. So yeah, it works out really well. And we are trying to let more people know that we do have this service. Even though we've been here for a very long time, people just don't realize that we are available. And for $2, you can go to the doctor or to Walmart or, wherever you need to go. And then it, $2 on the way back. But it does give people a lot of independence where they don't have to constantly rely on their relatives to take them where they need to go.
So, it does. Yeah. And they can plan ahead, as soon as they're at the doctor and they make their doctor appointment for the next time, then they can call and, get their bus lined up.
Exactly. Yeah. Yep. So we do that all the time.
And then the healthcare providers are really good too about helping call for when it's time to get a ride back home if they're not by a route bus. And
yes, they're all very good about that. They're great with their patients, and they help them if they don't have a cell phone or a way to contact us. They call us and we're happy to come get them.
Yes.
So, yeah.
And the other service you do that is amazing is getting people back and forth to work.
Yeah, in the evenings we do that service. During the day, since we have a route bus, they are able to take that, to and from work. But in the evening, we go from 5:30 to midnight. And that bus is usually pretty full. So it's nice that the community is using that service. And so a lot of times, if they didn't have our ride, they wouldn't be able to work at all. So
Yep.
it is a good service.
Now, is that still called the JART bus?
Yes, yeah. And that's an acronym that was the grant that we originally received for that. So
Okay.
I think it's jobs and I should know the rest of it, but I don't know. It was for also education and I think even childcare. But anybody can call for that bus and we will give them a ride. They don't have to be going home from work, but that's just the majority of the people that do use that
Yeah.
service at night. So if they do need to go pick up their kids at daycare, we will do that as well. Or, if they have something else that they need to do. So, and anybody can call for that. That's open to the general public. You don't have to have a disability for that service. And it is door to door. So we would pick them up, at their work, take them home, or vice versa.
So then is that one $2 each way too then?
It is, yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now, does that run on Sunday nights also?
No, Sunday is the only day that we don't run. So we run Monday through Saturday, 5:30 to midnight. So at this point, we haven't had any demand for that.
Okay.
Every now and then we'll get a call, but it's very rare. So I
So no
don't
buses
think,
at all on Sundays?
no, yeah,
Okay.
not at all. Every now and then we'll have somebody call and they'll want us to take them to church, but other than that, we really just don't have any demand for it. So,
Sure.
yeah.
Well, and I think most churches have transportation available that they can navigate for the folks.
Yes. Yeah, exactly.
If it's not a
So,
bus, then they have a group of people that will go give rides. So
yeah. Yep. And then it's nice. It gives our drivers a day that they know that they don't have to plan to work. So it's kind of a little perk, I guess.
So can you tell us, like, your drivers, what does an average Muska Bus driver look like? Are we talking about, like, are they retired people? Are they young adults, stay-at-home moms? What?
Right. So I would say the majority of our drivers are retired from another position. They've worked somewhere 30, 40 years, and they just want a little extra spending money, or sometimes they just want to get out of the house. They don't want to, just be able to go do something. And so the majority of them are pretty happy to come to work, because they're choosing to do that. It's not something they have to do. And so I think that that's also what helps make them a good ambassador, for Muscabus as well. So, and I would say we have a mixture, of men and women. We are starting to have a few more younger women, I would say, that this is kind of just, they need a part-time job just to help them a little bit. So
I think it would be fun, and they get to visit with people. I mean,
oh yeah,
yes. I mean, I really do. I could see me doing a job like that, because I think it would be, just fun to be able to have those conversations with people, and you probably get to know the people that are regulars.
Oh yeah, because the majority of our passengers are regular passengers, so they get to know all the drivers and they all know everything about them, and it's very nice for our passengers, because sometimes they don't really have a lot of other people to talk to, especially if they live alone. That's kind of their social time, is when they're on the bus and visiting with other passengers as well as the driver. So it's good.
And you guys are always so gracious in coming out when we have the block party in September every year and giving shuttle rides back and forth to Crossroads for us. But one thing that I think people are impacted by when they ride the bus back and forth for parking is they make comments like, "Oh, these are so nice and clean. Our buses aren't junky, are they?"
Yes. Well, right. Yes. We try to keep them clean. We have a person that cleans them every night. And then throughout the day, the drivers will do a little bit of cleaning here and there. But We are looking forward to getting some new buses, though. It's
Sure.
just right now you can't get anything.
Yes.
So, but we have some ordered, and so hopefully they'll be here next year sometime. But we do try to keep them going, and our maintenance staff does a great job of keeping them on the road. You know, they do have several miles, but yeah, they're kept up really well.
I think sometimes the impression that you have from watching TV or movies or what have you of a junky old dirty city bus, all filthy and stinky. That is not what this is.
Right, exactly. Yeah. And I do think as well, since they're smaller buses, they're not the really large, city buses. It's a little bit easier, I guess, for us to be able to keep them clean and going.
So are there safety belts in the buses?
We do have seat belts for all of our seats. It is not required for passengers to wear them, but we do have them available for anybody that were to choose to use them. So, and we also have them for people that are in wheelchairs or other mobility devices that they, as well, if they choose to have a seat belt, that we can put that on them. So
how do you have a separate bus? The lift bus, is that correct?
All of our buses have lifts on them, so they all can accommodate somebody in a wheelchair, or if they're in a walker and they need, they can't go up the steps of the bus, so they can do that. And then there's areas in all the buses where we secure the wheelchairs so that they can't move, and so it's a safe ride, for the passengers.
So how much does it cost for children?
Children under 5 are free, but 5 and over are the same price as an adult. So it would be $1 for the route or $2 for the shuttle. And during the summers, we do offer free rides to kids kindergarten through 12th grade. And and that always is based on when school ends and when school starts. So when school starts, we end that service, and then when they're back wanting something to do in the summer, they are not stuck at home, and it's for kids that are 12 and up. We don't really want the younger ones riding by themselves. If they have an older, sibling or somebody that they're with, then they're welcome to ride. But then that way, if the kids want to go to the pool or go to a park or whatever during the day, they have that ability, and it doesn't cost them anything.
Sure. They could go over to the library and do some of their summer programs or
or the museum or
rather than just sitting on video games.
Right. Yes, exactly. Yeah.
So tell us a little bit about your service area. How far do you go?
We service the city of Muscatine. So all, the city limits is our area. But if you are disabled, we do go 3/4 of a mile past the city limits. So we will go across the bypass, just like Mulberry Manor, or, somewhere that's really close. So if there's someone out there, we could get them, but only if that person is disabled. And those are rules that are set by the Iowa DOT that we have to follow. So,
but so you go to Ripley's?
We do, because that's considered the city limits. Yeah. And then we go as far as the airport on Highway 61 if we were to have anybody down there. We do regularly go to the Shell station down there twice a day. So if people from Fruitland area, if they needed, transportation, we go down there about 7:30 in the morning, and then also about 3:30 in the afternoon, and they could get a ride back into town or be taken down that way at that time.
Or like if kids lived in Muscatine but were going to L&M?
Yes. Yep. And they can get a ride to the Shell station there, and they can meet the L&M bus at that location.
Handy, isn't it?
Yeah, it is nice. Yep. And we have a decent amount of kids that do that. So.
For whatever reason, who knows?
Right.
Maybe grandparents live down there and they sometimes might need to go there. Mom and dad are working and okay. Well, that is quite a service and quite that's a big span of property area that you're going to.
So we do have to take into consideration how long it's going to take us, to get to certain places. But we all make it work. So.
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
Now, you guys have a tremendous amount of rules overseeing you, don't you?
Yes. So we have, yep,
It's
the Iowa
crazy.
DOT, and then we have the FTA also on the federal level, making sure that we're following all of their rules as well. So, yeah,
Yeah.
we have to make sure we're not doing anything we're not supposed to be.
You can't be a fly-by-night bus service.
Oh, no,
When you
no.
think about all the
No.
rules they've got. So you
With all
guys
the
jump
funding
through a lot.
requirements, yeah, no, you have to make sure that, and they make sure, that you
Sure.
are following all their policies. So,
Well, the fact that you're able to be successful in getting grants and funding and that will support new buses and new programming speaks to the fact that you're able to comply with all of those rules and regulations and be in good standing. And my goodness, it's a lot of things.
it is. And but our Iowa DOT is really good at working with us and letting us know, if there's things that we need to change, they let us know, and then they give us time to be able to comply with those changes. And so I've talked to other transit directors from other states where we've had conferences, and they really are kind of jealous of Iowa and how they handle everything. So
Sure.
I feel very blessed by that.
Yes.
So,
I remember back, I have parenting education programs here at the Y. And so way back when, even before Christy Corpy was there, and I can't think of what the gal's name, I thought it was Barb, but maybe not. Anyway, she asked me to write a letter of support for the very first bus at night for people going to jobs or school education,
yeah.
because they counted the Y as one.
Okay.
And what a great service that all of you have been able to keep that going through the years and have that, because I know there's so many people who wouldn't be able to get back and forth to work.
Right, exactly. Well, and so that grant has ended, and the city, has decided so graciously to keep that program going. And it really does. It makes a huge difference. But Iowa tries to get programs like that started, and then after a while, the local community should take that on.
Yep.
And thankfully,
Yep.
we were able to do that. So,
if they get the program started and they see that it's been a benefit, now how are we
right.
going to be able to fund it locally?
Yes. Yeah.
They give you the opportunity to see the benefits, and that's
Yes.
that's
Yep.
that gives you a great foothold and a great start. How many?
Yeah.
I don't want to ask you any numbers because none of us can remember all the numbers. But so how many rides do you give a year? Do you have a ballpark? Is it gotta be 100,000?
You know what? I had that information, and now I'm
It's
trying to think about
it. I hate
So
to
I
ask
know
people
right
numbers.
now, probably about on average a month, we give approximately 8,000 rides.
Oh, well, there you go.
So that, let me think here, times. So yeah, almost 100,000 a year. But it has been higher, with
sure.
with COVID and everything.
Oh,
our
it would
numbers
have
have
to be
dropped
less.
quite a bit. So we're hoping that they'll start going back up again.
Oh, sure. Oh, I bet they do.
Yeah.
And I bet in the summers you do a lot too.
Yes. Yeah.
Children.
It usually in the summer we do at least an average of an extra 1,000 rides per month. So
Wow.
about 3,000 for the year then.
What a service.
For the summer. Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure. Well, and I know even like Salvation Army and they have their children's program. You guys give them rides, to go out to the pool, to go to field trips. I mean,
yes.
The impact you have in so many different ways.
Yes.
Is really positive.
Yeah. And we do try to work with groups, if they have people that qualify for our shuttle. So like if you have a group of seniors that would qualify for that, we will help them and go on group outings. And like the nursing homes, will help them as well, provide that transportation, because maybe they would have a minivan or something to take people places, but if they want to go to lunch or whatever, as long as they all qualify, we can do that.
Oh, that's great. That networking and helping each other out, whatever you guys are specialists in this field and somebody else in another. And when we can partner like that, it's
Yeah.
a win-win for everybody.
Yep. Exactly.
Thank you so much. I know you, even though, I mean, the frontline workers were helping out through this whole mess we've been through. I know you had to oversee and make all of those little things work. So thank you so much.
Well, thank you.
And
Yes.
your whole team. You guys should all be so proud.
I am definitely proud of all the people that I work with and make us keep going every day. You know?
I bet. Was there anything that I neglected to ask you that you needed to or wanted to highlight today? This is kind of your opportunity to toot your own horn.
I know. I think that you asked me all kinds of questions, which was wonderful about, all the services that we provide. And I think that we talked about everything, that talks about Muscabus, I guess.
Well, that's great.
If anyone were to have any questions, we would love for them to call us and we would be able to answer any of that. So one fun thing that we had done this summer, which was kind of different, is we made a commercial for Muscabus and it plays on the cable network. And I don't know if you'd have time to show it, but it was kind of fun. So yeah. Say that again.
I asked Chad if he could show it.
Oh yeah.
You see that right over there? Yeah.
Anyway, but other than that,
hold up. There we go.
I don't know.
They can hear it, but we can't.
Okay.
Oh, how neat.
So that was a lot of fun.
And, I bet it was.
Yes. And that was part of our effort to try to let people know that we are here, that our service is available to people. So, and I believe we've gotten a lot of calls based on that.
Oh, so. I'm glad. I'm glad. Way to think out. You wouldn't think that you would need to do a commercial for the bus, but way to think outside the box, because you're right. Some people don't get all of the information, and certainly not in the same way.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. Yes.
Well, thank you so much for joining us, Amy.
Okay.
Really appreciate it and all you do.
Well, thank you for having me. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay.
And thanks to all of you for joining us today. Our guest next week is going to be Michelle Burns with Muscatine County Conservation and Kelsey Stafford with Parks and Recreation. They're going to come and share all about their 2 Halloween events that look to be so much fun this year. And fortunately for me, the Y is joining with County Conservation. So I get to help on that project too. So really exciting to see all of the fun activities for the kids and families this year. Reminder, we do have an in-depth city council meeting tonight. We'll be talking about pre-budget stuff and getting some information from staff on the proposed pit bull changes and see what just getting information. This won't be the opportunity for people to weigh in, but it'll be a time for us to gather as much information as we can. Hope you all have a great rest of your day. We look forward to seeing you here next week on Our City. Goodbye.